Good morning and good afternoon for Patricia. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Unlock Your Way with STK. And we are here with the amazing, incredible, all the way from Germany, Patricia Lindner. Welcome, Patricia.
Thank you so much, Suzanne, for having me on your show. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you.
Me too. Patricia, I want to be totally transparent. You are one of the most incredible relationships that's come out of me having a community. And I want to say one because of your human archaeologist title, the fact that you're willing to have these really deep, meaningful conversations, and you're not afraid to challenge me to do better, be that best version of myself. And I'm so grateful not only for our relationship, but my time working with you as my coach, my guide. And it's really transformed how I see myself and how I put myself out there in the world. So I just want to say thank you publicly.
That is warming my heart and touching me on a really deep level, really at a core level, cellular level. That is so amazing. Thank you so much for this
You're
amazing
welcome.
feedback and this personal sharing. It was such a pleasure to work with you and to dive into your amazing potential, into your cellular light that is there and that is radiating all over the place whenever you are with people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It I want to just say that the work you do, especially with entrepreneurs, business owners, or anybody in service to other people, is so transformational. And I would argue that many people are afraid to do that introspective work on themselves. So let's get into the value of the work on yourself for your business and why they shouldn't be afraid to go there.
Yeah. So, first of all, when you talked about this, people are afraid, and maybe especially entrepreneurs are afraid. I
Mhm.
think the first step and the first and foremost thing is to really get the business in order that lays inside. That is really knowing who you are at a core level. I repeat myself at a cellular level, because it is key to go from maybe a not so high vibration to a really high vibration. And that could be concerning relationships, that could be concerning your business, that could be concerning your
Mm,
health, and everything. When everything is shifted into a gift frequency, into your true potential, what you are meant to live out in this human experience that we have, then you attract whatever you want, because you feel well and you are meant to feel happy in your body with your people. And so I think that is my mission. It is not a job, it is my mission
yeah.
to really help people dive into that space, even though there might be some shadows. And I guess this is what you meant by people are afraid
Mhm.
of facing something, because and this is the most important message: every shadow that shows up, every fear, every issue in a relationship is such a great pointer, and you should be
Yeah.
grateful for what shows up so you can go from there.
Yeah, I think I didn't have fear personally, but I've heard that from clients for years. Like, "Oh, I don't want to look at myself from that perspective." And even in some of the work I do, there's fear about looking at the time you're spending on things or your finances. Um, and sometimes that makes clients get very upset, or when they have that realization that they're not living up to their potential, it can be very upsetting, right? It's because it's that
Yeah.
honest look at yourself. But I want to just say that, diving into what you do with clients and what you did with me was so affirming that, yes, there were some things that I was like, yeah, I need to work on that. Yes, there was some of those dark side things. But with a dark side, there's always the opposite, which is the
Yeah.
light of that dark thing. And that's what really stuck out to me. So speak a little bit to that, because even though I realized or confirmed, some of the dark things about me and my life as an entrepreneur, as a mom, as a wife, as a human, there was an opposite to each of those things, which that's my choice to see which one I want to shine a light on and accentuate. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So you put it in an amazing way, because there is always the flip side of the coin. Where
Yes.
there is shadow, there is light. And I can share such an incredible insight that I just came across, because the work we did, Suzanne, was really on this genetic level,
Yes.
and talking about the human DNA. That seems like I'm going really far into
Yeah,
biology,
that's
but
okay.
this is so amazing. There are those biophotons that are in our DNA, and the word photons implies that there is light. Whenever you
Mm,
go into a stress state, into a fear state, into a guilt state, into a doubt state, or anger, you compromise those biophotons, and that means there is less light. There
mm,
is more of a darkness, more of a shadow. And that
mm,
makes it so plausible that when we are stressed out, when we are fearful, when we are full of self judgment, or whatever, you name it, then it dims our light, literally dims our light in our
yeah,
cells. Whereas when we open up to our fullest potential, and that is, we are meant to live in a happy state, we are meant to be aligned with who we are, and not look left or right and give a rip to what other people say, then we just expand this light of those biophotons running through our DNA. And then you can totally think of those saints that are painted with this
yeah,
halo. That is like really expanding the light into your
yeah,
aura and attracting more of
mm,
what you want, attracting people into your space that make you even shine brighter. And
yes,
so I'm talking in maybe a cryptic language, but on the core level, I add some of my personal flavor to methodologies like human design, or I totally love the gene keys. That is my favorite, and add some of what I experience and what I learn to help people go from those shadow frequencies, shadow expressions of fear, anxiety,
mhm,
into happiness, into full alignment with their personality and their soul.
yeah. Well, I love that, and for anyone who understands personal energy, or vibration, and even if you don't, we've all been around people who, when we meet them, they're like, you're instantly uplifted. You're
Mhm.
instantly like, yeah, I really had a great conversation with that person, or wow, they're so positive, or wow, they're so energetic. And whether it's a smile or whether it's aura or
Mhm.
vibration, you every human has experienced that with another human. It doesn't matter what you call it. And
Yeah.
that's what I think is magical about what you do. But really, everyone has experienced being around someone that uplifts them or energizes them. And we've all been around people who drag us down with gossip or negativity, or just, the Saturday Night Live character Debbie Downer comes to mind, who is just oh, doom and gloom, and maybe their posture is in the
Mhm.
face, and it's just an energetic thing. There's no other way to explain interacting with a high vibe person or a lower vibe person.
And the good news is that when you radiate and shine
Mhm.
your inner light, it
Yes.
is very likely that you attract people that are exactly in the same state, that really are
Yes.
drawn to you, because it is law of attraction. I know that this is an overused term, but whatever you send out comes back to you.
Mhm. But
Mhm.
it's deeper than that, right?
Yeah.
And hi to Anthony, who just said good morning. Um, I really feel as though it law of attraction, manifestation, all of that, it sounds wonderful, right? And
Mhm.
so many people try to think positive, try to talk or appear, talk about what they want. I'm manifesting a Porsche 911 right now, right? I see them all the time. I think about that. I will have that car very shortly,
Mhm.
and I see them. There's one sitting at the dealership closest to my house, the exact color that I want, and it's sitting right there. And I drive by every day and I wave to my car, and I'm doing the work required to actually be able to get that car. I'm not sitting back writing in my journal and thinking, oh, someday I'm going to have this. And
Yeah.
then, not doing the work required. And
Yeah.
let's talk about Gene Keys, how it's helped
Mhm.
do the work required to step into that purpose. So, what we're talking about, vibration, attracting people to you, which I'm all about, but you have to know your purpose and what's the mode of attracting those people to you. The Gene Keys have allowed me to see clearer that path. So let's talk about what Gene Keys is first, for those of you who don't know, and then let's go into how it helps you get clarity on that path.
Yeah. So first of all, I just like to confirm what you said. It's not about just thinking and affirming and writing
Yeah.
down. You need to feel it. It needs
Mm,
to become your nature. That's who you are. So attract what you are and not what you think. And
mhm.
so I like the way you put it.
Yeah.
The gene keys. The gene keys is, I'd say, it's an archetypal system, or it's a model for growth that lets you dive into your specific, and that is really specific. There is no profile that is like the other one, because there is always
Mm,
a slight difference. It's a very complicated looking system profile of different spheres or points that are important for your life. And one of them is your purpose. One of them is how you radiate in your life. Another one is your emotional intelligence. The other one is your biggest wound. The other one is how to attract clients. I just went across the board of 11 different spheres, and you can see your low vibrational expression of maybe why you came into this world, what your life's work is. And you can see how to shift your frequency into
mm,
the gift part, the gift code. So you can accept, embrace, and really embody who you are, even though there is a shadow. So the shadow is nothing negative, it's just an indicator where you're at or where you just were, and you can go from there. It's nothing to get rid of. Whenever someone tells you you need to get rid of all your shadows and need to get rid of everything, as we know, there is no light without a shadow, and vice versa. So this system does not put you in a box. It opens you up to the archetypal expressions of who you can be, and you are meant to vibrate in your gift frequency. And that helps you really understand your purpose, why you are here, and helps you activate your purpose or live more in alignment. Then there is another path that lets you really accept and love who you are, and also helps you be in alignment with all your relationships. And then there is a third aspect that is so interesting for entrepreneurs. That's the Pearl sequence that lets you dive into how do you do business at the very essence of your being. How can you attract those people and be of service and grow your business that is not based on profit, but a purpose-based business that is of service and that makes an impact in this world. And that's why I really love it, because it's opening up, it's expanding people into their truest potential.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I think for me, the confirmation of knowing that impatience
Mhm.
was, a shadow side for me. I was like, yeah, yeah, very impatient. But in actuality, what the flip side of that, to me felt more like compassion.
Mhm.
Um, Not slowing down. It felt more like that understanding that, yes, if I'm going to get impatient, things aren't going to line up like they're supposed to. If I'm going to rush things, it's not going to happen the way the universe has it laid out for me. It's all for me. So that awareness was just really, really helpful. And in that confirming, yes, impatience. I tend to rush things. I tend to make decisions very quickly. So, what would it look like to be the opposite of that? To actually step into that. And ultimately, that was very authentic for me.
Mhm.
Very just confirming of, yes, that's me, but here's what's possible if I'm actually in that space of purpose and authenticity, and it really just helped center and ground me. And that impatience is the opposite of being centered and grounded. That's being rushed and frantic. And oh, maybe that's why sometimes my vibe is off,
Yeah.
or people don't resonate with me, with what I'm saying.
Yeah. And moving into this gift frequency, and
Mhm.
finally even feeling maybe timeless, which would
Yes.
be the most amazing state in this special gene key.
Mhm.
Um, it's such a gift of being in alignment, and it's such a gift of trusting life that you are always, especially yeah, as an entrepreneur, in the place, but also in relationships, in the
Yeah.
place where you need to be. You don't need to be further. You don't need to rush things or shut down or be angry that things don't go faster, but really align and get into balance. And the way you explained it, Suzanne, what it did for you is such a confirmation that the work is really unparalleled, because it is not high spiritual vibes and we
Right.
dance around the fireplace and sing songs and move into the gift frequency. It's really grounded, practical work. Just like, how can you apply that in your everyday life? That is
Mhm.
what I want to stand for.
I love that, and it's a perfect segue into how did this come to you? Not only human design, gene keys, and the bravery for you to show up and do this work with other people instead of what was easier, what was, more conventional. How did this come to you?
So I think that is, I want to make a very long story short because there is always this very personal background. And
Mhm.
as you know, my original career was teacher and teacher's trainer in a leadership position. And I loved that. I totally loved that. But there was always this element of there is more. I'm so doubtful. And that is part of my gene keys. I doubt that this is it. I doubt that this is
Mm,
everything that I can do for others, that I can be in this world. And so I went from this place of being really doubtful, and I took, my second name is exaggeration.
yeah,
So I think I took 1,000 apprenticeships, deep apprenticeships from energy psychology, from ancestral teachings, to very creative ways of getting into high vibration, like improv theater or painting or soul art. And finally, I came across human design and the gene keys, which
mm,
I was doubtful about, to be honest, because it felt like, oh, that's something like getting your horoscope and then I'm just in this container. I want to be a free spirit.
yeah,
And the more I dove into human design and especially gene keys, the more I felt my inner expansion, that doesn't allow me to go back into a narrow space, and that connects me more and more to who I am and connects me more to people like you.
mm,
And so there was no more fear of showing up. And I just feel it talking to you, because we had several conversations in the past years. I feel more aligned than ever talking about the subject that everyone is here to shine their light, to be a high vibrational person. And that
mhm,
is not a woo woo stuff thing. I feel so grounded in this message. And I think that is what the path did for me. And so I can pass it on to others and open them
mm.
up, being a catalyst or a mentor for them.
I that one, it makes me so happy knowing, for you for the past couple years and watching your journey
Mm.
and seeing where you are now compared to, 2 or 3 years ago when we first met. It's a confidence, it's a light, it's a vibe that's so different. You have your own podcast as well that is just amazing. You've had some incredible conversations, and I don't think you could have gotten to that point. I couldn't have gotten to this point without that introspection and the willingness to really go there with myself. That inner journey is what we're all really here meant to do. And someone seeing my light numerous years ago, she saw a glimpse of it, my mentor, and
Mhm.
she reached out to me, total stranger, met me at a networking event and was like, "Oh, I just saw something."
Yeah.
Right? She saw like a glimpse of something, and she reached out to me, and she said, "I saw something, in your light, in your message, in what you were saying." And total stranger
Mhm.
saw something. And well, to be able to do that, to draw people to you, to energize other people, what has that meant for you personally to be? I know what it means for me to be able to do that, but what does it mean for you as an entrepreneur, as a wife, as a mom? What has that done for Patricia's calling, soul, whatever you want to call it?
So for me, so this inspiring and helping others part,
Mm,
and feeling so much in alignment with who I am, just gave me so much peace, inner peace, really resting in myself. And I double checked. I have this impatience part in my chart as well.
Mm,
So no more rushing to through the next thing or
yeah.
to the next level. It has given me so much more. Patience is not the right word, but it is inner peace, it is inner balance, and it is trust that the business that I did inside myself reflects on the outside as a
Mm,
wife, as a mom, as a guide or a coach or a mentor, as an entrepreneur. And I trust that this creates a ripple effect. And so I can make an impact that could be a loud or huge or really global impact. But I'm also happy with just making small ripples and creating a small ripple effect, because that is just one person at a time that I can touch with those teachings, that I can embrace in my love I feel for them. And I can do that because I can do it from a point of feeling aligned with who I am. And I want that for others too. And this
mm.
is my goal. I want to see people feel fulfilled, feel happy, feel full of trust, and embody who they are. Because we need more of those people that don't follow cookie cutter approaches and the big crowds that say so, but those who really follow their inner guidance system. Because just imagine, you need to follow your inner guidance system, because if you have two or three or four, you couldn't have relationships, because five people could have five different opinions, and it would really put you into chaos. So being aligned with who you are is what I want for people, and I think that is the biggest gift that I personally got from that and get from that.
Well, I I just the ripple effect that you talk about, my clients are benefiting from the work that I did with you.
Mhm.
And I want to just encourage people to reach out to you, meet you, have a session with you, because that ripple effect as entrepreneurs, we're all looking for that. Real life, my dog's barking at the UPS guy. So, hey, what can you do? Real life, we're here at home recording this. But that ripple effect is what we're all looking for. We're all looking to make a difference as entrepreneurs, whether it's with 5 people or 500,000 people. And if we can reach just one more person with this podcast that becomes a client of Patricia's, or one more client that, I get to work with, and we pass along that ripple effect, I'm living my purpose, you're living your purpose, and we're helping other people do the same. That's just so inspiring to me as an entrepreneur. And thank you for helping me get to that thinking and that vision and that purpose. It really means so much to me. And we'll wrap up with, how can other entrepreneurs like me uh, reach out to you, get connected with you, and what does it look like to work with you?
So first of all, of course, everyone can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm present on LinkedIn. That is my favorite social media. And I have a website, which is www.patricialindner, 2N, patricialindner.com. And people who do not know me, who are new in my space, they can book a free session where we look, a mini session where we look at their human design or their gene keys, just to have an overview, just to give them a flavor. They could
Mhm.
choose whether this is specialized in one direction or just a general overview of 30 minutes. And should they want to get more of that, we can go from there. I love offering illumination calls that are 40 minutes of my undivided attention to listen to people where they are at and to really tune into what is possible for them and to share that with them. And then they can decide to go their path alongside with me, or they could just go whatever feels aligned with them. So these are the first steps. And then my favorite thing is working one-on-one. But I just started a little group of German people. I might want to do that in an English setting as well. And just to make it full circle, as you said, no matter if 5 or 5,000 people, just this morning, I spoke to one of my amazing collaboration partners, and we create a great retreat in a beautiful setting just for 5 amazing people who are open to really radiate and shine their light in a higher vibration, to just simply feel happy. That is the embodiment of happiness that we want to offer. And that will be in October.
Beautiful. Can't wait to hear more about that. Thank you so much, Patricia, for being such an amazing light in my life, my entrepreneurial journey, and just being in my tribe. I appreciate you. And for those of you listening today or catching the replay, and you want to connect with Patricia on a deeper way, just ask me and I'll give you a personal introduction. Happy to do that. And thanks again for joining me on and talking a little bit about your way of really unlocking mastery and helping others in this world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Suzanne. It was such an honor to be here.
You're so welcome. Have a great day, everyone, and join us next week for another episode of Unlock Your Way with STK.